How's it going? Nice to see you again on a beautiful sunny morning. As always, thanks for joining me for a beach talk. Now, a question, if you're ever raising investment, a question you will most likely get asked from an investor, and that is, so what's the return? Now, it's a question that when an investor asks it, they're looking for a clear, confident, real, backed up, reasonably well-grounded response. How much, when, likelihood of someone buying your company. If you try and or or haven't given this any thought before you get asked that question, the investor's not going to be impressed. It might actually just kill the conversation dead. And it's an important question not just for an investor, it's an important question for you as the founder, owner, CEO, MD, whatever. Because if you don't know yourself, it's very difficult to give an answer that's credible to an investor. You don't have to put in something wacky like I'm going to sell my business for 100 million in 3 years, but it just needs to be something concrete for and real for if they're going to get their money back, when is that likely to be, who is likely to buy the company, and what sort of quantum are we talking about? And you think about it then, the founders involved will have a very clear view in their head. The investors will also have a higher degree of confidence that the founders, you have an idea what you're doing. But also in between, you've got a key team that this isn't just about raising investment from investors. This is also about considering if you do create a share option scheme, that you've got something that has value to retain and incentivize your team in order to get from what you're worth today to that exit. Because ultimately, everything that you're trying to align is a return for investors, a return for your team, obviously a return for you. Now, I've seen businesses where, one in particular quite recently, it got started maybe 10 years ago. It's been very successful since. It's raised little investment. It's had probably not the most confident of responses to the investors it brought in. And as a result, it's got investors that are involved in the business where there's just a complete disconnect between the founders and the investors. And at this stage, 10 years in, the founders think that they've almost reach a conclusion of what they want to do with this business, but they've given very little thought to actually what it's worth. They've given very little thought to what they want to do with it. They just feel they want to exit. I feel it's the conversation that they should have had 10 years ago, not just when they raised the money, why are you doing this? But also to themselves, which is, if this is a success and it does grow, are you trying to create a lifestyle business, or are you trying to create a business that you are building, scaling, and one day in the plan is to sell it? You can see very clearly that if you go down the wrong road of just getting going, giving it no thought, or being in front of an investor and not having a confident response, it's a good little reminder that maybe you should just stop, have a think as to what is the return for you, and if you're happy with that, that's also going to be a good enough answer to give to an investor. So from your point of view, if you've been raising investment or if you've gone through this from experience, that you've got any pointers or tips to share and for others to read, it'd be great to have them as always. From a wonderful part of the world, thanks for watching as always. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now.